Are you listening? Damn.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Peak Podcast, a source of information, tools, tips, skills, lessons, stories, and mindset to help you reach your peak and beyond in fitness, relationships, your career, and so much more. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the podcast. Marco Augusto back with you again. The Peak Podcast, episode 61. Today I wanted to talk about the benefits of following a diet. Now, I am not a believer in a particular diet. I personally believe that all diets can work because certain diets work for some people. Some don't, for whatever reason, okay? It's just based on our personal preferences, the things we enjoy eating, maybe the results we get as well, leads us to enjoy particular diets more. Definitely there are probably some diets that are better than others in a general sense, but a lot of the time diets, some work, some don't, for some people, whatever reason, okay? So, and I'm not a particular fan of dieting as such. Not that it's a bad thing, but the idea of constantly being on a diet to try and get specific results instead of learning how to eat healthy in the long term, right? Two different things. The first one is something very specific. Often we associate it with losing weight or trying to lose weight quickly. Whereas the second one, eating healthy long term, is associated with the habits. It may lead to change in food, the types of food and the amount of food, but it may not be like a complete lifestyle overhaul like a diet might do, or the restriction that a diet might do. So I'm not a massive fan of diets as such, or at least dieting in that way, to get a particular short-term result. However, this podcast is about the benefits of diets, or the benefits of following a diet. Okay, so let's think of a diet in relation to meal plan. Okay, so a meal plan also is a diet, but it may not fall into any particular structure, such as keto or paleo or vegetarian. Okay, it may not fall into those broad terms, but it can be very specific, very structured. Okay, this is a good thing. People need more structure, but it can be very restricting. Okay, so meal plans are good to a certain degree. They're great, very short-term, specific results, but it can be very restricting. Okay, compare this to a diet, which also has its restrictions, but it may not be as specific, and it's about an overall way of eating generally. So the benefits of a diet. And the reason I'm doing this podcast is because I've started following a diet. And this is the biggest benefit I've found. It's not about fat loss. I have gotten leaner. I do feel stronger. I do feel like I've got less aches. All awesome things. They weren't the reason I started the diet, but all very good results to have. Great benefits. The biggest thing is it's provided structure. Okay, it's given rules. Okay, it's given the environment with which to operate. This is, without doubt, the biggest benefit of being on a diet. It provides the guidelines, right? But within those guidelines, you're free to experiment and explore. Okay, so within the paleo diet, right, you can, if you're following a diet, technically you could eat as many calories as you want on the paleo diet. Okay, this is the difference between a meal plan. A meal plan is probably going to have particular meals that you have to follow, which are going to restrict your calories, right? That too is a diet, but it may not fall into the paleo, the vegetarian, the ketogenic, may not fall into those broad terms. It's still a diet, and it's probably going to restrict your calories. Whereas if you follow one of those broad diets, like the ketogenic diet, you can still overeat on a diet, right? You can still eat too many calories, but it brings awareness to what you're eating. Okay? All of a sudden, it's not you can eat whatever you want and you don't really know or really care what you're eating. Now it is you're asking the question each time you go to eat. Can I eat this? Or can I not eat this? Of course, you're an adult. Of course, you can eat it, right? But if you want to follow the diet as good as you can, you'll probably make decisions based on what's in the diet. So you'll see that, okay, bread isn't allowed on this diet, so I'm not going to eat it. You're just aware now of what to eat and what not to eat, right? Again, calories can still be a factor in this. You can still overeat on a diet. You can overeat on a ketogenic diet. Calories are still a factor, okay? Especially if you're not doing any exercise, right? Just because you go on a diet doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to reduce your calories. You probably will, because you're cutting foods out, but you can still eat too many fats on a ketogenic diet, right? And this can actually become a bit of a crutch, right? This can actually be a problem. People think, since I'm vegetarian, I can eat this. Okay? Yeah, you can eat this, but you're still overeating on that vegetarian diet. Okay, so there are always, quality and quantity of food, right? A diet generally brings in the quality of the food, right? That's what we're talking about here, the quality. Should I eat this? Yes, no. But sometimes they don't always take into account the quantity, also very important. When it comes to diets, when it comes to meal plans, ideally there is a time frame for them. Okay, there is a time limit. There is a time where you take a break. Something that's becoming big now is reverse dieting, the idea of going on a diet and then how do you go off the diet, basically. A reverse diet, they call it. So this is becoming popular as well. You'll start to see things to do with that term soon, but meal plans, diets, they should be for a period of time to get results and to learn what to do. Okay? The idea is that you actually learn how to eat. Right? You learn that awareness. That is what you should be going for with the diet. Not to lose the weight quickly. Right? Again, the time it takes for you to lose the weight, you can actually put the weight back on. Okay, so the idea of losing weight, that shouldn't be your goal with the diet. It should actually be, let's see if this is a diet that I enjoy. Let's see if this is a way that I could eat long term. And along the way, you may lose weight. Right? For me, the diet that I'm on now, I've lost body fat because of this diet, but that's not the goal. Right? That wasn't the goal, but yet I've still lost fat. I'm very aware of what I eat now, though. I'm not restricting calories, by the way. I'm not following a particular caloric amount that I need to hit. I'm not in a caloric deficit as such. I'm not aiming for that. but it's made me very aware of what I'm eating. So as a result, I'm probably eating a bit less, okay? Also, if you are going on a diet, just be sure that it's not adding more stress. If you find it more difficult, if it's more of an effort, then that stress, that diet in all its, following it exactly 100% may not be the right thing to do at this point in time. Maybe there's a way you can slowly implement it so it's less stressful, okay? So that's what I wanted to talk about, really simple. The benefit of diets is all about the awareness, right? Providing guidelines and rules to follow. Shouldn't be about fat loss. That should just be a nice side effect, hopefully, right? Because you can still overeat, right? You can still overeat on a diet, right? You can still overeat on the ketogenic diet. You can still overeat paleo, okay? You can still overeat vegetarian. You can overeat with all those diets. It may be more difficult to, but you can still do it, okay? And people still do it. So it's really about awareness, providing some guidelines and some rules to follow so you can think about, once you're off a diet, always ask yourself, what worked, what didn't, what can I use for the future? Right, super simple one today, episode 61 of the Peak Podcast. I'm done. I'm out of here. Peace out. Be good.